Hi, I'm Tonya Swan from the Louisville Free Public Library, and I'm here at the Kentucky Derby Museum with Education Manager Ronnie Dreistadt.
Well, hello everyone. I am Ronnie Dreistadt, Manager of Education Services here at the Kentucky Derby Museum, and we're getting real excited here in Louisville, Kentucky, because we have a big horse race coming up. So we're real excited for today because the first Saturday in May has traditionally been Derby Day for many, many, many years. Of course, last year we had to run it in September because of COVID. But this year we're going to run it on schedule, and this will be the 147th year that they've run this Kentucky Derby here in Louisville. It is the nation's longest running continuous sporting event. So here at the Kentucky Derby Museum, this is where we celebrate the greatest 2 minutes in sports. When you come to the museum, we have 2 floors of exhibits. We have a big 360 movie, really immerse yourself into Derby Day. And also we offer tours into the racetrack where you can actually go out and see Churchill Downs and learn about the history, the horses and the people that have made this such an amazing sporting event.
I hope you enjoyed the tour with Ronnie. I am so happy to be here at one of my favorite places, the Kentucky Derby Museum, on one of the most exciting days in racing. And so I thought I would bring a really funny book to share with you. The book I'm reading is Horse Meets Dog, written and illustrated by Elliot Kalan and Tim Miller, with permission from HarperCollins Publishers. Wow, you're very big. Look, this little dog. There's the horse. You are mistaken. I am not big. I am normal sized. In fact, I was just about to tell you that you are very small. Is your smallness because you're just a tiny baby? Oh, look at this witty, cutie little tiny baby. Does tiny baby need a bottle of hay? Blech. Hey, I'm not small, and you have weird feet. Where are your paws? Did you lose them? Look. My feet are not weird. Your hair is weird. Why don't you take better care of your mane? It only takes a few hours a day. Also, your tail sticks up. It should hang down like a gorgeous hair waterfall. Look, he's thinking, it's a very strange horse. And he's thinking, it's a very strange dog. Nah. I'm sorry we got off on the wrong paw, big pal. I got you a present. I got you a present too, tiny baby. Open mine first. It's a saddle, in case a tiny person wants to ride you. Will you try on your new saddle? Or would you rather be rude? Now what happens? Someone sits on you and you take them wherever they want to go. Fun! That doesn't sound like fun to me. Oh, but it is so much fun. And then you get to eat oats. Woohoo, oats! If you want to see real fun, just open your box. Happy birthday. I also decided it's your birthday. It's a ball. Go get it, big pal. Boing, boing, boing. Excuse me? You threw it. You go get it. No, this is how it works. You go get it, then I throw it again, and you go get it again. This is my favorite game for obvious reasons. I don't like this present. You don't like it? What kind of horse are you? What kind of dog are you? Gasp! We're not dogs, we're horses! We're not horses, we're dogs! If we are dogs, why do we whinny like horses? Neigh, 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 neigh! You get the idea. We don't whinny, we bark and make dog sounds like dogs make. Bark, 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 arf, 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 bow, wow, wow, and so forth. Are you sick, tiny baby horse? Because something is seriously wrong with your whinny. I'm not a tiny baby horse. You are a very big dog. I am not a very big dog. You're a tiny baby horse. Tiny baby horse, very big dog. Tiny baby horse, very big dog. Hello. Hi. You two are weird looking birds. The end. I hope you thought that story was as funny as I did.
Well, today we're going to read the story about one of horse racing's great underdogs. And his name, he's got a great name. His name was Seabiscuit. And the name of this book is called Seabiscuit, the Wonder Horse. It was written and illustrated by Megan McCarthy, and it was published by Simon & Schuster. So, without further ado, Seabiscuit, the Wonder Horse. Well, back in the 1930s, times were tough. There were long lines of people just to get food. People didn't have very much. You know, it was a time called the Great Depression, and people needed an escape. And going to the racetrack was the perfect escape. People came from far and wide to watch their favorite horses do what? What were those horses doing? They were there to race. And I got to tell you, those horses were sleek, elegant, muscular, well-bred, and fast. Real fast. Let me hear you all say, real fast. Well, that's true, except for one. And his name was Seabiscuit. Seabiscuit, he liked to eat, and he liked to sleep, and he hated to run. And he lost almost every race they ever put him in. In fact, his trainer would put him in a race, he'd lose. He'd try again, he'd lose again. Put him in another race, he'd lose again. And finally, you know what his trainer said? His trainer said, that's not even a racehorse. All that is a big, lazy dog. Who would want a racehorse like that? Charles Howard, that's who. Charles Howard lived out in California, and he wanted to buy himself a racehorse, but he didn't want to spend a lot of money. So he got Seabiscuit for a bargain price. But Charles Howard, he didn't know that much about horses, so he had to hire somebody who did. And that, my friends, was Tom Smith. And Tom Smith, they called him Silent Tom. I bet you can figure out why they called him Silent Tom, right? Well, he loved to talk to horses, but he didn't like to talk to people. So Silent Tom it was. Well, now they've got their owner, we've got our trainer, we need to find a jockey. And the jockey they found was named Red Pollard. I wonder why they called him Red. Maybe it was the color of his hair, right? And guys, Red and Tom and Charles Howard all started working with Seabiscuit. Uh-oh. But Seabiscuit was wild. He was wild. He didn't like to follow directions, but Silent Tom knew what to do. Silent Tom said, horse, the reason why you're acting all wild is because you just need some attention. So he brought in some cats and some dogs and even some chickens. And those animals, they became Seabiscuit's friends. And guess what? It worked. But Seabiscuit was also, hate to say it, he was lazy. He didn't like to work very hard. And Tom Smith said, you know what, horse? You need some motivation. So he brought in some other horses to race against Seabiscuit in the morning when they practiced. Guess what? It worked. But Seabiscuit was angry and stubborn. He didn't like people. You know why? Because back when he was with his old trainer, he wasn't really probably treated very good. And he didn't really trust people. But Red, the jockey, anytime Seabiscuit made a mistake, he'd pat him on the neck and say, don't worry, buddy, we're going to try again. And pretty soon, Seabiscuit started to trust Red. And he said, wait a minute, people don't have to be my enemies. They can be my friends. Check it out. The once angry and wild horse became gentle. The once lazy horse turned out to be fast. But is anybody going to notice? Well, it was time to put him in a race. And they put Seabiscuit in a race out in California. Guess what he did? He won. They put him in another race. Guess what he did? He won again. They put him in another race. Guess what he did? Well, he ran second, but that's still pretty good, right? Anyway, people all over the country started talking about that little horse named Seabiscuit, and word started to travel from town to town about that little horse who never gave up. Well, guys, even though Seabiscuit was becoming famous, there was another horse who was even more famous. You see back here is Churchill Downs, right? Well, this horse came to Churchill Downs in 1937, and he won the Kentucky Derby. Not only did he win the Derby, he won the Preakness and the Belmont. And that, my friends, is called the Triple Crown. His name was War Admiral. And War Admiral was sleek, he was elegant, he was muscular, and he was fast. Everybody say, real fast. Wait, did you all hear that? Did you all hear that? That was Sam Riddle. He's the owner of that horse. And did you hear what he said? He said that his horse could beat Seabiscuit any day. Well, Mr. Howard found out about that, and he said, Seabiscuit could beat War Admiral any day. So how are we going to decide who's faster? My friends, we're going to have a race. Just the two of them, Seabiscuit versus War Admiral. Seabiscuit traveled all the way across the country to face the mighty Triple Crown winner. But guess what? It never happened. It never happened. You know why? Because a couple days before the big race, Red was on another horse and he fell off. You can see what happened. He broke his leg. And the doctor said, Red, you can't ride Seabiscuit. We're going to have to cancel the race. The end. Wait a minute. Is that how it really ends? Do you think I would read that book to you if that's how it ended right there? No way. Because back in those days, they didn't have computers. They didn't have televisions. They did have radio, but they didn't have a lot of the electronics that we do, but they did have telephones. And they looked different. But Red got on the phone from his hospital bed and he called up his good buddy, the Iceman. The Iceman was a jockey too. His name was George Wolfe. And he asked the Iceman, hey, will you ride Seabiscuit for me? And guess what the Iceman said? He said, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the race is on. And check it out. People came from everywhere to watch this horse race. And it was scheduled for Baltimore, Maryland in 1938. People came by car, by train, by boat. Some people even walked. Nobody wanted to miss the race. Jobs even closed early so nobody would miss it. And if you couldn't make it to the racetrack, you listened to it on the radio. Even the President of the United States, President Roosevelt, listened to this on the radio. Well, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Seabiscuit came out onto the track to the big roar of the crowd. War Admiral came out onto the track, another big roar from the crowd. And now it's time to see who's the fastest horse. A hush then fell over the big crowd at the racetrack. The horses twitched and the riders sat perfectly still. And they're off, said the announcer. And Seabiscuit jumps out and takes an early lead, and they're passing the crowd for the first time. And can you see it, guys? Seabiscuit still has that short lead, but War Admiral is right on his tail. And around the turn they go onto the backstretch, and it's still Seabiscuit. I can see him, guys. Seabiscuit still has that short lead, and War Admiral's not letting him get very far, and they're coming into the turn. Here comes War Admiral, and War Admiral's starting to gain on Seabiscuit as they come out of the turn. It's anybody's race from here, ladies and gentlemen. Seabiscuit and War Admiral are head and head, and here they come down the stretch. War Admiral has taken the lead. But guess what? Right when War Admiral took that lead, right when he took the lead, George the Iceman Wolfe whispered down and said, don't give up, Seabiscuit. Just a little farther to go. And he shook those reins, and he shook them again. And ladies and gentlemen, Seabiscuit responds. And Seabiscuit is now passing War Admiral, and he's drawing away. Seabiscuit leads by 2. Seabiscuit leads by 3. They're nearing the finish line. And the winner is Seabiscuit. Seabiscuit beat the Triple Crown winner by 4 lengths that day. And you never saw such a crowd go wild. Well, George the Iceman Wolfe, he rode Seabiscuit into the winner's circle that day to the roar of the crowd and the flash of the cameras. And they asked Mr. Howard how he felt, and he said, "This horse is amazing because he has the heart of a lion. He never gives up." And they asked George the Iceman Wolf how he felt, and he said, "I wish my old buddy Red was here instead of me," thinking about his friend back in the hospital. They asked Silent Tom how he felt, and he didn't say anything. Silent Tom, right? And guys, Seabiscuit became America's hero because even though back in those old days, when times were so tough, when people had to stand in long lines just to get food, guys, Seabiscuit gave people hope. And that's why I love the story so much. Seabiscuit, the Wonder Horse, the true story of a legend.
Wow, wasn't that a great story that Ronnie read? He really should come to work for the library, shouldn't he? So before I read my story, I'm going to teach you a song. And the way I teach songs is I sing it once so you can listen and hear it. I sing it again, and you can try to sing it with me if you already know it. And the third time, we're all going to sing it together. Are you ready? Okay, this is the way it goes. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, 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 giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, 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 giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, up, up. Whoa, horsey! So now we're going to do it a second time. Go ahead and try to sing it with me if you think you know it. Are we ready? Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, 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 giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, 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 giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, up, up. Whoa, horsey! And now we're all going to sing it together. Here we go. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, 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 giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, 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 giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, up, up. Whoa, horsey! Yay, you guys did a great job. Now we're going to read our story. So for our last book, we are going to read Horse by Malachi Doyle and Angelo Rinaldi. And I get to read it at the Kentucky Derby Museum's stable. Unfortunately, their horse is on vacation, but I have a stand-in. This book is going to be read with the permission of Simon & Schuster. There's the title page. A horse stands alone in a field. She is waiting. The children come to visit her. They love her warm, sweet smell and the way her breath comes hot and heavy from her soft nose. They stroke her velvety muzzle, talking quietly to her, and the horse waits still. On a soft spring night, the foal is born. Slowly, his mother rises to her feet and licks him all over. There he is. By dawn, he is up on his long, spindly legs, peeping out at the children who come to welcome him into the world. Look at that awkward little baby. The colt grows quickly, greeting each new day by thudding his hooves on the damp earth, shaking his stubby tail and rushing around the field. But as the summer sun rises to its height, the young colt's ears droop forward. His legs fold under him, and he dozes, stretched out on the grass with his mother, watching over him. Look at that baby. He's taking a nap. Do you guys take naps? Maybe. As the leaves begin to fall and the light begins to fade, the big old mare droops her neck for the bridle once more. And the bridle is what you put on a horse to hold the reins and tell the horse which way to go. Soon she is trotting around the field with her foal racing to keep up. By winter, his coat is thick and sleek. The colt grows bigger and stronger every day, kicking up the snow with his hooves as he charges around the paddock. Then, one fine spring morning, the girl offers him a carrot. As the yearling leans forward, she slips a rope around his neck and puts a head collar over his warm, silken nose. Stroking his head, talking softly, the girl leads him quietly around the field. "You're such a beautiful horse," she tells him. "One day, we're going to ride, you and I, over the hill and all the way to the sea." And that's the end of the story. Thank you for joining us at the Kentucky Derby Museum on the first Saturday in May when we race the Kentucky Derby, the world's greatest 2 minutes in sports. Thank you to Ronnie for hosting us at the Kentucky Derby Museum and reading such a great story. And thank you for joining us. Happy Derby Day!